swooning for some jazz.
Let Nothemba Madumo serve you up some jazz and beyond.
On 702 and CapeTalk.
Jazz and Beyond on 702 and CapeTalk with me, Nothemba. And it is that moment where we spend some time exploring the life and times, experiences, and of course the musical career of some of South Africa's adored and great musicians. And I'm very happy that our guest today is one who's regarded as one of the most important architects of contemporary South African jazz. He plays a whole lot of instruments. We're talking about him being a saxophonist, penny whistle player. He's a composer. Of course, there's also the flute inside. He's also an educator and really a cultural ambassador. I'm talking about a man who has spent over 4 decades just shaping the South African jazz language, which is drawn from, I think, originally where he comes from, which is in Langa, but from Xhosa traditions and township traditions. And he's a man who grew up under apartheid, so we'll hear stories about that. And happened to find freedom through music. And he's become one of the admired mentors of the new generation of musicians here in South Africa. He's just celebrated his birthday. McCoy Mrubata.
I was just
Hello.
I just not
McCoy, how are you?
Yeah. I'm good, thanks. I feel young and fresh, and despite my, a wrist that's troubling me now and then, and my pinky and my thumb, but other than that, I'm good. Yeah, it's stiff at the moment. Mornings, yeah.
Oh, it does that in the mornings.
Yes, yeah.
Tell for one, happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
And 2, how are you playing your saxophone, okay, if you've got this problem in the mornings where your fingers become stiff, or you wait until the afternoon?
Mid-morning. Thanks God, there are no shows whereby one has to play in the mornings. But during recordings, I always make a plan.
Yeah,
I have my very early my mixtures. I'm into herbs. Herbal healing and stuff like that. I have my gingers very early, so that by 9 I'm ready to go.
You're ready to go.
Yeah. I'll have it controlled. Yeah.
Maybe that's what explains why you look so young at your age. It's all this herb thing. I must come to you for recipes on how to stay young. McCoy,
Sure.
Who gave you that name?
It was a nickname. I forced it into my ID.
You don't say.
Yeah, Tamsanga Archibald Mrubata. But then when I was born, McCoy, and then I started school. The next thing I see, Archibald, who's this, Yeah, because since I was born, McCoy. So even my teachers, they hear other children, but isn't that Archie? Through my teenage years, and then I'm starting to work now, the checks are coming. McCoy, ouch, I have to change, the names, it's actually Archibald. McCoy is a nickname, So I decided in the 80s, no, let me edit it into my ID. Yeah. I think it was my mom. My mom was a hip jazz collector. I think it was my mom. Yeah. She had all the records of the world. Yeah. When I travel with Satan loves, in the States, loves jazz music. Whenever I travel, his playlist is something else.
Yes.
Now and then, hey, I remember that. My mom used to have that album, Isn't that? He looks at me, he gets surprised all the time.
Really?
So, I think my mom gave me that nickname.
Oh, and it's stuck. And Archibald asbazed.
Yeah. But the funny thing in Cape Town, you say, Ochi, No, man. They love the
They
archy.
love the archy part of it.
Yeah.
No, that's fantastic. I mean, in the introduction, I was talking about you growing up in Langa Township.
Yes.
When you close your eyes, Jay, and think about Langa in the 60s, what picture forms in your head?
Ooh, a bright picture, vibrant. I mean, I won't stop telling the story of during 60s. When I was a toddler. The band that used to rehearse opposite my grandma's place in Merrimack's, big band. Stuff, all American. Type of big bands. Count Basie to Ellington. Why I know it was because later. When I was but 14, then I'll remember, hey, that's the music I heard when I was a kid. So that band, I thought it was magical because I'll find myself back at home, after going there. Let's say after kindergarten, I go there, have my sandwich and, fall asleep, back at home. So it only occurred to me when I was about 8 or 9 that, I must have fallen asleep, at the rehearsal, Bang Buisendli, for me to be birthday and have, for something like 3 years, I was like, hey, magic, that band is magic, Meanwhile, I'm listening to these old people, grooving, Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I grew up with that. And Louis Muhulu used to live in the same street, Langa. I used to hear about him, in the 60s, 70s. Then in 1973, when he came for the first time after he was exiled, he came, that street was even more vibrant, and you will have jam sessions every day, Louis, and then he threw a great jazz festival in Langa. Yeah, in 1970, it was 1974, I think, yes. So I was almost 14,
So
Langa.
those are the vivid memories that come to you. What kind of a child were you?
Very active. Yeah. Our recreation centers were rich at the time. Now and then I visit. They don't have what we had. There was everything: badminton, table tennis, boxing, art classes. I used to do a couple of those. Things. Those disciplined, I think, help one. I used to box this one. I might look
In
tiny
your tiny figure.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I boxed, I drew, I played badminton, it was great, Yeah, it was a great upbringing.
No, and it's sad, like you say, that those things are not happening now.
Yeah.
For the young kids to, keep them occupied.
For sure.
And maybe also help them find their calling like you did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what then said to you, this is my calling, because I kindergarten, I watch bands play and I sleep, but I
wake up at home.
Wake up at home. How did I get
here? Yeah. Despite that, my number one thing apart from sports, I was drawing. Diakwazi draw.
Yes.
Yeah. I will sketch, and be in trouble at school because I'll draw a teacher or a fellow student in a cartoon character type of, yeah. Ooh, And then when I was about 10, I was like, I'm gonna work for myself. I'm gonna be an artist, Yeah, and I started getting commissions from churches. They knew about this kid who could draw. Draw Mfundisi way too. I did that, for free. I was like, I'm gonna be an artist. I just knew, Siswam, that is that I'm not a 9-to-5 guy. I just knew I'm gonna be,
an artist.
Yes, yeah. But
and the different disciplines of being an artist.
Exactly. But came 1976. I'm 16 now. Our lives revolve around attending rallies. I'm embarrassed to say banning some infrastructure. I'm embarrassed we did hear that. Yeah, but it was mainly rallies, attending meetings. And then after then, you are free. So our hall where we used to box was bent down. So I did what I did best, to draw. It's my spare time. My room was bigger than a friend of mine, Muaketu, who was more advanced than me, would come to my room. We do sketches from anything from landscape, abstract. We just love drawing, and then share paints, And then during breaks, Muaketu will play penny whistle. Yeah, I didn't, it was nice, But then one day he left it behind. And just Nothemba, I tried it. I was like, wow, what is this? It was massaging my fingers. And the penny whistle is tiny, so it gets warm very quickly. I was like, wow, this is nice. Apart from that, but the air was like, oh, this is nice. He's got to teach me because I don't sound like he does, So when he came the following day for drawing sessions, he said, Muaketi, his nickname was Stiro. Stiro, this is nice, man. How do you play this? Somehow it doesn't sound like, because me, he said, Mac, it's simple. You see these few holes, just close them properly. And I did. I was like, wow, the sound was much better. Yeah. And from that day on, the drawing abstract took a nosedive. I was hooked. Penny whistle, 1976. I was hooked.
Wow.
The penny whistle. I would mimic every record. Oh yeah, by the way, by that time, this is 1976, born in Langa until 1977, joining my mother in Guguletu. Who was living in Guguletu at the time, because I had moved there a year before. Yeah, and you could stand at Form 1, yeah. So, Guguletu, Mama Mrena Shibin, her record, collection was even, walls, I would mimic every song that was playing, I was
with that penny whistle.
With the penny whistle, mimicking, And the following year, then I will follow the late Robert Stolle and other penny whistle players, and flautists, just to get tips, And then I begged her to buy me a side flute. And then she raised, I was lucky that in 1978 she raised enough money to get me a side flute. And continued to follow, as the late Ezra Ngokana, bigger guys, and getting tips. And then it was very exciting times. But then the education side of things was suffering because we still were not going to school. We're partially opened, So I did night schooling, at St. Francis. And then, it was hard, Yeah. So 1978, when she bought me this flute, within 6 months' time, I could play in all the keys. And we heard there was an audition in a colored township in Mannenberg, a club called Club Montreal. Prior to that, it was called something else. The name will come back. Yeah. So, because the late Ezra Ngokana has just gone to Johannesburg, they needed someone to play the horn. I didn't have the big horn, but I had the flute. Yeah. So, no, light. You can play flute? Yeah. Can you play sax? Yes, I can, but I don't have one, And then I had brought my LPs, Hubert Laws, Bobby Humphrey, Herbie Mann, because bands didn't read music. You have to, and their ears were so good, as Nothemba. If you play a track, they'll practice it quick, and then you do your audition. So I had my tracks, lined up, what I want, But they were clever. They wanted to know, in case I don't know all the keys. So no, we'll choose tracks for you, And then they played anything. Luckily, like I said, I was to mimic everything. I knew all the songs,
Sure, okay.
They practiced quickly. Go, let's go. And then, boom, 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 boom. We're like, Die light is goed, man. Yeah, man. Okay, they played another LP, and then they chose randomly something else. They practiced quickly. I did. No, he's got it. Two songs. But then the leader, Frank, was like, no, let's try one more. Then another LP.
Just in case it's a fluke.
Exactly. I nailed it. You hired, I was like, yeah.
Just like that.
Just like that. My first band, that was, it was called Fever.
Fever.
Fever, yes.
And I mean, you've had quite a number of bands. Not to mention the collaborations.
Sure.
But before you came to Johannesburg,
Yes.
And Brahu Sipho Hot Sticks was the man behind you coming to Joburg.
Yes.
Was there a need for you to leave Cape Town, the jazz scene there, for you to find it more lucrative to move to Joburg? What was happening in Cape Town for you?
Cape Town, Broad Sticks, Sipumabusa Uputuam was a godsend because I was saving money to come to Johannesburg. I learned a lot from Cape Town, but at the time, for me, nothing was moving because we were playing covers all the time, It's nice to learn from, the elders, Jazz Crusaders, John Coltrane, There come a time where you have to find your voice. Yeah, I was tired of playing, I wanted to come to Joburg because I noticed from my visits in Joburg before I moved here that they embraced, Johannesburg at the time, still embrace originality, Yeah, guys might say, about 2 chords. It doesn't matter, Yeah, look at our sound now. It has grown,
Sure.
Not just one from Pakanga, straight in Pakanga, Our sound has grown. It's been growing. Anyway, it was even good then. So I was trying to raise money to come to Johannesburg. Then the next thing, I'm playing with a local band, Louis and the Jive, a Good Hope Center, supporting, big bands, including Upra Hot Sticks, Harare. And then he spotted me and then told my manager, hey, I want that young man. And I was like, yeah, ne? I was like, yes. Yeah, I've been privileged since Nothemba, to be honest. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So are you saying that you found your own McCoy Mrubata musical voice in Joburg?
In Johannesburg, yes. Yes.
And what, I don't even know how to ask the question. What was that voice, or what was your voice drawing from? That you said, Dimkelo. Yeah, but
drawing from my teachers back in Cape Town, new teachers in Johannesburg, and then the world at large, So here I am in Johannesburg now in 1987. Yes, 87. I was still willing to join local bands, but I had to honor my stay with the Hot Sticks, because when I got here, the word was out, McCoy is in town.
Kunala chap.
Chap, the output, yes, Hot Sticks, yeah, I don't know. I'm privileged because in Pimville, I will be there every day because he wanted me to stay with him. Then I said, no, Gastale Hillbrom, now I'll come every day, meeting his mom and then seeing his mom teaching una lady, Palesa, Amazing Grace, things like that, because I'm a simple person. I love small things, I used to watch that, think of my grandma, it was beautiful, I would say I used to stay there, but although I didn't sleep there, I don't like comforting. I like to hustle, Yeah. And also within a couple of months, I bought myself an XL3, Yeah.
Yeah?
Bank sevens.
You were hustling.
Yes. So, the voice, your question regarding the voice, from my teachers, yeah. Although when I was starting, I was kind of arrogant. I'm a self-taught. But then about a decade, I said, no, I'm not. At the time, you couldn't further your music, education at higher level, at these high institutions. Our institutions were shebeens, jam sessions, corners, street corners. That was it. Those were my teachers, yeah.
And of course, the mentors at the time who
yes,
were also an educational institution.
exactly, Sis Mom. Yes. I draw from that. My voice comes from that. So I was still willing, after Opera Hot Sticks, to join other bands, And when the word, came around that came out that McCoy is in town, Ibayete wanted to in theater, the jazz bands of the time wanted me because I was already famous because of my mom. My mom used to accommodate all the bands. Sakile will stay there. Before Sakile, Pragib, musical, they will stay, because back in the day, there were no hotels.
For black people.
Exactly. So artists would stay in townships, So my mom, especially after a tipsy, I want to accommodate these people because my child is going to go places. McCoy, I'm paving a way for Mtanam. Come, So
artists, and of course, because, she was popular because she had the shebeen.
Yes.
And therefore, she was sort of like a central point for a lot of people who were coming through. Okay.
Even living in Johannesburg, people were still coming, Yeah.
What was your mom's sister?
Kwasistono.
Okay, maybe some people might remember.
Yes. She was friends with Sis Francis, Gibbs, a big sister, who also had a shebeen. So people used to commute from, artists from Kwasistono. Sis, they had a great relationship.
And you're right, because even in the Eastern Cape, what was more popular was where all the shebeen queens, so to speak, names, and even here in Johannesburg, because those were sort of like central entertainment,
for sure,
spots.
Yeah,
like you say, there were no hotels, there were no clubs on Tontun.
Sure.
The shebeens were the form of entertainment for black people back then in the 60s and the 70s.
Exactly.
And the 50s, I would imagine. Which is fantastic.
Yeah. Even the great Mamudole Ratebe at some point, Rena Shibin, when the career was kind of,
shaky.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing. So, and then, one thing that I admire a lot about you is, over the years, you have worked on so many projects with so many artists, and a lot of it is very collaborative.
Yes, yeah.
Ipuma Pilondo.
I'm not sure where Ipuma,
that you felt,
I'm a teamwork kind of guy. I've always been like that. Because maybe it's the fact that also I identify my weaknesses quickly and then get someone else to do what I'm not good at. I think it stems from that as well. I just love people. I love to collaborate. Even back at home, there were guys that I taught and then became better than me at some aspects of this art form. And then we'll form small things. Monde is an arranger. Lulu is a better reader than me. Oh yeah, by the way, when I started, I quickly tried to learn to read because we will get mixed messages from the BP guys. You mustn't read music. You mustn't you're gonna lose the feel, And then there's the other school was like, no, you have to read, So me and my friends were curious. We're gonna learn to read, and then we'll go to music libraries and get older guys to teach us, and that's where Brakadudu back in Langa now. Although I was living in Guguletu, Brakadudu opened a school in the 70s. I got to know about it in 1976 after picking up the flute. Oh, Koni Skolo, after hours for only 2 hours is one, because Brakadudu, the great late Brakadudu Ndlebe, got together his old contemporaries who were in big bands in the 50s and 60s to teach younger musicians to read theory. So it was an incubation type of thing, I was probably the fourth generation, by that time. Wow. About Madoda Kabeka of the Jazz Pioneers was a senior at the time. So there was those things, that,
so that helped you.
That helped,
as well.
So I learned to read, and then late Black Tempe also helped me to read. So what was the question again?
No, we were talking about the collaborative thing.
Oh yes.
And I guess you're being able to read now made it even easier for you to work with other musicians. But you had already answered it, because you were saying that for you, you want to be you love identifying people who do work that is better, that they are better than you at doing, and work with them. So Firebird, your first album.
Yes.
What were the stories you were telling to tell us album? When you decided, okay, now I'm gonna record my own album, and this is what I want to say.
Strange enough, I wasn't ready, because this 27-year-old comes to Johannesburg, 1987. The following year, 88, I get a recording deal. This talent scout, the Prakori Libona, sees me. Oh, it was blind. He hears me, play, And then after the show, he said, "Hey, Mfanam, I love your sound. What's your name?" I told him, "I want to record you. I want to offer a recording deal." I was like, Tata, I'm not ready. No, it's sorted, We had meetings, because I still wanted to explore and be a sideman. I was, the cooperation I had were not strong. I still wanted to learn more, because there's a different thing where you play, these intricate scales, knows what I was doing in Cape Town. Joburg, it felt like people were more singing, It was different. I wanted to really explore, At that time, I was playing with PJ Powers from joining Hawksticks. Yeah, I stayed a year.
Those are the popular bands, anyway.
Exactly. Because I'm a curious and open-minded musician.
Fantastic.
I want to play everything, And then by the time, he got the recording deal. I said, I don't have songs. No, it's sorted. He had already commissioned 2 songwriters. I didn't know. I wasn't aware, He was, Paul Henma and the late Jabu Nkosi. I didn't write a single song. They both wrote 5 songs each. I had to learn, these songs go to their flats and, this, So, it was in...
So, when you look back at that album now, when you listen to it, if you do... Or do you go, or do you go, it was what it was at the time?
The last one, it was what it was at the time. And it brought me, into the mainstream of South African, jazz.
And then also, it probably was maybe the fire that said, you got to hustle more.
Yes,
gotta work,
yes.
you gotta work and learn more
Exactly.
to get this back.
Yeah, yeah,
Better.
yeah. And that's what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now,
Before we move,
yes.
on, because you brought the name up, Kala, because now
Yeah.
when he was here and as my guest, I said I need your version of the closeness and this relationship of friendship with McCoy. Paul Hemner.
My friend, yes, yeah.
Yes, and you just brought it up now that
Yeah.
him and Jabu were some of the people who wrote the music in the first
Yes.
album. Tell me about that friendship from McCoy's side with Paul Hemner.
Yeah, with Paul Henma. Brajabus, when I will go and workshop these songs, it was fun. I used to love to eat. But Paul's, Paul is a slow starter, and then I'll come to him, It takes 2 minutes for him to open the door. Yeah. Yeah,
He is slow, ne?
Yes,
He's-
yes.
He just even when he walks, he's floating. He's not.
Yeah,
It's not like don't.
for sure.
You know.
Especially mornings,
And
Yeah.
even speaking, he's just very gentle and
there are gaps, he
relaxed.
long pauses, Yeah, that's my friend. Yeah. I mean, I will be making a trunk call before cell phones, because we used to speak. We got tight after that, Yeah. Let's say now I'm traveling with Ray Peary or whoever. I'm in the States. I'm trunk call, talking to Paul. And then long pauses, and the money's going, the coins are going, Gazi, yeah, my bro. So, I was like, oh man, I love this guy, but hey, my money's going. That's Paul. So, yeah. So at Prajabu, it was fun, food, and really, I used to love. And then at Paul's, takes time to even open for you, and then you sit down. That especially the first day was very tense. I didn't know the guy. I met him that meeting. Then the next thing on a Monday or Tuesday, I'm meeting him now so that I can learn his songs. Yeah, he opens for me. I sit there. Hi, oh, good. And then he goes, and then I'm assembling my horn. I'm warming up. Please don't play. It's like okay, but I need to, yeah. But anyway,
a bit strict.
Yeah,
and some
yeah.
discipline and order.
And then goes the kitchen and slowly makes coffee. Like some coffee? Yes, yeah. Yeah. Then, that's 20 minutes or 25, And then it comes, the piano. So, I want to tune the piano, Don't touch my piano. I'm like, whew. This guy, and then we're gonna start with this song, And my honey is cold-ish. I need to warm it up, Yeah, because he stopped me from, yeah. And then he gives out a music chart, I'm playing, the bell is kind of swinging this way, yeah, because the piano is next to him.
Yes.
So I have to be a bit
at an angle.
Yeah. Please face your horn that way, I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be a long day. Yeah. And then I'm learning, and I'm fluffing because my horn is not that,
It's not warmed up.
Yeah,
yet.
exactly. Yeah.
And
But
this one is making you uncomfortable. And,
yes, yeah. Playing this song, Beautiful piece, this one. That's what healed me. Beautiful song. It was a super.
Which one was it?
A blow to the head, or one of the ballads, da 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 da. Yes, blow to the head. Yeah, I'm playing it. This is nice. That's what healed me. I thought it can be full of, it's okay, but this music was like,
Wow.
Yeah, I went through second song, the horn was warm. Yeah, I made sure I don't bump it,
Yeah.
Then, next day, next appointment, I'll make sure. I was staying with Denzel Will, another pianist.
Yes.
Yeah, opposite is Paul's place, by the way. Yeah, in Bertram.
Really?
Bertram's. Yeah. So I made sure my horn
Denzel,
is
another
warmed up.
brilliant
Yeah,
pianist.
I'm ready. For his slowness. Yeah. So, yeah, and then we nailed everything. But I started to learn even more of his beautiful music, outside of this recording. And then I invited him to do a cocktail with me at Roxy. I was staying at the Roxy Rhythm Bar, and I wasn't paying a cent for playing there. The guy loved me because we had played there in the 80s, and then when he said, if you want to move to Johannesburg, come stay with me. You can't stay at my hotel, So I will pay by playing once or twice a week, But me, young man, I used to jam every single day except for Mondays when it was closed. I was just wanted to play. Yeah. So there was a cocktail hour gig. I said, would you like to join me? I said, yeah, for sure. And then we'll play in these duo gigs, his music and some few standards, It was amazing. And then the next thing, we're recording, he's in my band. It was amazing.
It was just an organic growth.
Yeah.
Of the friendship.
And then guys were like, you guys are inseparable, What, And then I looked at him.
And also such different characters.
Yeah.
Combining.
And then we're like, Paul, I guess we are, We are friends. Because, we didn't plan to do this, but it just happened,
That's
beautiful. So to this day, we're like,
Beautiful.
It was this Bruce.
Two peas in a pod or whatever you call it. Fantastic. I mean, you have, since that Firebird album, there's so many other albums you have recorded. I don't even know, 1410, whatever the number. Yeah. But you've done, especially fans of yours will remember Tears of Joy. I think that was one very popular. Posanga Semva.
Yes.
Who Like It. The color thing coming out of you there. Face the Music.
Yeah.
The best of the early year. Ikamaguli Vumile. Then the Brass Cup sessions started.
Yes. Volume
1, 2, and 3. Also the live recordings at the Bird's Eye.
Yeah.
Quiet Please. I remember this one because I was still at Metro at the time when this one also came out. And then you started now getting into strings.
Yes, yeah.
And, the First Green and then Lullaby of Kayoyo at the Market Theatre. We are now still celebrating, the children on the front line.
Yes.
So, how have your stories and your compositions evolved and changed to what the last time I talked to you, we were talking about the Children of the Frontline album.
Yeah.
But since Firebird and now, have you found different things to share and story-wise in the music based on what is happening in your life or in the country or in the community around you? What and maybe even what is the constant thing that stays, when you're composing your music, constant message in the story that you feel I must keep repeating. I must keep repeating this.
Yes. Yeah, it's love, kindness, and the respect. Yeah. Sometimes my better half things I give too much love, But that's what keeps me going, Yeah, I'm known even when I go home. There's traditional thing where people admit that when McCoy is around, everyone flocks, because my kindness, of course, once again, Zoda, let's say she wasn't around, Hey, Ben Sekukuleti, we went to, and then who was there? And then she's counting the people, how much did you give to that one? And this was, no, she knows that, there are those pegs, little pegs besides that, but, so they admit that, yeah, we kind of get along. We are in one place.
Okay.
Once you gone back into our holes, here, families, they always have, there will be cliques sometimes, unfortunately, But, I try hard for us to be united, and it's working. So that's what the constant thing in my compositions is love, peace, happiness. And also, I don't really plan my albums, the concept, the story will be about. I'm guided by what's happening a lot of times, but, although the constant thing is about, unity, love, and children, Lullaby for Kayoyo is based, on my, grandson, and then children on the front line. About the constant wars, destruction, we might speak about the current wars that are trending. What about those also that, in Africa alone, I don't want to mention countries, I don't want to be, but, there's children who have bloated bellies, there's starvation, amputated limbs, this and that, Yeah, maybe I spoke about this last time, in the 70s, early 70s, there was a picture that haunted me when I was about 13, of a naked girl, running, Asian naked girl running, from a war zone. That was big, that picture haunted me because my grandpa was reading a newspaper, and then I'm a kid, I'm looking at this naked girl running,
And then these big guns
exactly
behind in that image.
It's only later when I could read, I said, Vietnam War, this and that. And then come the 80s, there's a kid, that's the vultures are waiting for it to die, Those images, I'm now in my 20s, things like that. Yeah, how, let's support our kids because it's going to impact,
the future
exactly.
and then they are in that generation.
Yeah.
What has that concern about the children, how has that made you the kind of father that you are?
Yeah.
Your Father's Day years ago.
Years. I remember, I've always loved children. There was this saying in Cape Town, because when I'm around, I'm not practicing. When it's quiet, children will flock. I have sweets, we see a theater, your neighbors say, "Oh, so bantwana man, when you'll never have children, Why, you're so kind. You will never have of your own. Well, look at me now. I have 4 of them,
And grandchildren.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, the question again,
What kind of a father have you become because of your love for and concern for children?
Yeah. Well, I think from the messages I get, my birthday.
Like when it was your birthday,
Yes, yeah, the cards. Oh, they're so beautiful, Swami, I'm always kind. I listen to them. So I try to be there.
Do they not take advantage of you because you're just kind and they walk all over you and
they do, especially the last born and the firstborn, the middle children. They're strong, until Norma, the fashion design, and Uwaki, the Mdoma beats. Firstborn is a soccer coach. Lastborn is still studying. Finishing her law. Ngabona bang reayo. Yeah. So yeah.
So you're a great father at the end of the day.
Thank you.
I know you feel a little uncomfortable describing yourself, and I know it's better when someone is telling you what they experience of you as a father. I before we run out of time, I really want to also just go to this you traveling the world.
Yes.
You've had these relationships with Norwegians. You've gone to the US, you've jazz at the Lincoln Center, you've even lectured at Berkeley, and and all these things. I think without going into detail with each and all these, because there are so many, how the rest of the world sees us, because I get a feeling that we don't see how great and amazing we are until somebody outside tells us. Share with us how your experiences and what you go and share about South African jazz and the people you go there with. Why there is even a demand for our music. What they see that we don't see, Tina.
Exactly. They hear a distinct sound that comes from South Africa. South Africa also can be very, very unique because they do hear these traditional sounds, especially when it pertaining to jazz. And then they see these nuances. These are like 15% of like familiarity, they're familiar with this, some changes. And then they like, while they listen to that, and then back to our traditional, because we South Africans were able to blend a little bit of this and that, European, American, we have that talent, simply because we might say there's too much, because we cry, there's too much of foreign music, it's good. It's good because what make it build us, because we might hear, 90%, 10%, it's okay, that cry is okay. But when you observe these sounds of the Beatles, John Coltrane, Paul Simon, and then Maslatini out of the blue, Jabu Kanyile,
and then the choral element.
That one is so special, it reminds me, let me divert a bit, at Berkeley, when I went to lecture there, and Paul, our residency there, and then one of the lecturers was like, but you gentlemen sing, we looked at each other, but you guys sing, man. Have you noticed something? I said, no. The children, the students are starting to be not technical. They're trying to be melodic, to be lyrical, because they hear what, although us, we do have up-tempo songs, that we presented, during our lecture, but they feel there was that, I said, well, we come from a choral background, especially the Cape, background. So we influenced by all this, So there's that thing. So they view us highly. To answer your question, they hear something different, something distinct, something is user friendly. Yes, Our music is not intricate, but although it can throw, even the great Wynton Marsalis, when we did the South African songbook, there were songs that we found very easy that they couldn't handle.
Wow.
They had to be cut, left out of the program because the songs were not sitting.
They were not able to interpret them
exactly.
In their authentic self.
True. There's this famous question, hey man, where's the one? About 1, 2, 3, you have to explain, So there's a trick I learned from a younger musician by the name of Tlale Makene. Hlale Makena once, we were doing our own thing. The guys weren't getting the rhythm. He just danced it, He showed that in a dance form, and people got it. That's what I did at Lincoln Center.
Okay.
Yeah, in 2018.
Yes.
Simple song for brothers to do. Bam ba da da da. Ba da da dum. You see, easy ka jang da da. Ba la 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 do da da. Ba da ba ba da da. That part, da do da da. We're not getting it. I'm trying to. I thought, you know what, I'm going to dance it. And they got it. Yeah, look at this beat. Yeah. Da, da. Oh, no, not the section lead. Da, 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 da. Da. They were getting lost. Yeah. So, I dancer,
Wow.
I showed them in a dance form, thanks to Tlale,
The percussionist I guess even the percussions are also inspired by the dance moves that we do anyway.
Yeah.
Talking about Winton and Lincoln and the South African Songbook.
Yeah.
And you were also part of the Joy of Jazz when Winton was here.
Yes.
And also performing some South African compositions. You are now going to be at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz in September.
Yes.
And, with all these recordings I was talking about here, I don't even know what your, or is there a theme, or maybe were you told you're going to do your latest music, or you were just free to conceptualize your presentation? What are we going to expect in September at the Joy of
the
Jazz?
theme is around children on the front line. The bulk of the material is going to be, from that album. I'm going to preach peace, love, save the children, Yeah, that's what, and then sneak in a few favorites. And,
but you have to sneak in the because I love the two, not Maria, the two Masophies.
Really? I haven't played that in years. Really?
I know.
Ikamaku. Yeah, no, Ikamaku. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Yes,
it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It has to be there. No. So, are you using your normal band or
it's a combination. Benes is there. Jim Mgwandi, he's been on the bass. He's gonna be there. Maxwell Mbaloyi. Yeah, the great Louis Langa is going to be yes, yeah. And then we're going to have Twin Wele Hlubekwebelana on vocals, as well as Fani Ntlama on vocals, because the album has a lot of chants and vocals. Now and then my albums, there's singing. Yeah,
there's singing, of course.
Yes,
but no strings this time, because the album that had strings was exquisite.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, yeah, there are no strings. Yes.
Budget ayikho.
Yeah, budget ayivumi.
Yeah. What are you loving about, as we wrap up, about the South African sound now? Be it jazz or whatever. What are you, for 50 whatever years on, you being in the music? Yeah. What are you loving about what South Africa sounds like musically now?
The richness of our sound, Siswam. We're so diverse. We have so many styles. We just rich. It's I'm privileged also that whenever I'm in the States, I'm able to record. There's even newer music. Yeah, and we'll sample that at churches, by the way. Yeah.
Lovely.
Even during that recording, there was a beat they were struggling with. I danced it, I'm going to post it. Yeah, I danced it in the studio.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, they got it, Yeah, it's a song that's dedicated to the Tswana people, Tswana dance. Hey,
that dance.
Yeah, with those. I love those people.
It's a beautiful dance there.
So they were not getting that. So I danced it, Yeah, because whenever I stop my car, whenever I see those, I don't know what they called. Someone I keep on forgetting. I must write it down so that I know those beautiful people with napkins, brown napkins. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. I always stop my car, and it's so beautiful, So I try to. Yeah, they got it. Yeah. So we'll sample. That particular song. That song.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yes.
Because that dance is amazing.
Oh, yeah. May I add one more thing?
Yes, do.
I'm privileged also at 67 to be still featured at Joy of Jazz. I mean, Twins inception, I was there. I was in my 30s when they'll be in State Theatre. Few bands, Mrubata still strong and active.
And Newtown as well.
And Newtown later, because it started really well. It was small, State Theatre, and then it moved to Newtown. It got bigger. I was still featured. So I can't thank them enough, Mantua, Mrubata, the staff, the backers of the Standard Bank, and your partner 702. It's really a privilege, not having expired, to your eyes and ears, Thank you.
People expire only when they pass on.
Oh, thank you.
That is the only. As long as you're still breathing, you have so much more to contribute.
Thank you. So I can't thank them enough. You, Siswam, you've been there. Yeah.
I try and hang in there with everything.
Yes.
Because you guys do beautiful work in your art form to represent and tell the South African story. And we want to be there to help share that story. And thank you for that.
Thank you, Siswam. Yeah.
McCoy Mrubata, thank you so much for joining us on Jazz and Beyond.
Lovely.
I know there's so much more I wanted to ask, but ixesha alivumi. But all the best. We look forward to your performance and showcase at the Standard Bank Jazz.
Thank you, Siswam. It was a great one.
Come for the jazz and stay for the good times.
On Jazz and Beyond with Nothemba Madumo.
On 702 and Cape Talk.